So I just spent the week in hospital. Let's talk about it. So last week I decided to take advantage of Haven Holidays' current offer, which is like a £49 go stay the week deal, which is great. After one day of being there, last Tuesday, I tried going to the toilet. This is going to be a very graphic video this is going to be pretty I won't go into all the detail, but it's going to be a pretty detailed video, so just be aware of that. I feel like I make one of these once a year as well. If it isn't, there was something going wrong. So when I tried going to the toilet, I couldn't for a wee. Couldn't wee. Didn't think much of it. I just thought, oh, it's just me. I don't need the toilet. I'll try again in an hour. Tried again in an hour. Still, but real urge to go to the toilet. Still couldn't go to the toilet. I've looked in the bowl because I got a few drops. The bowl was a red colour. I'll just say. I don't know what I can say on YouTube. So in total shock, I've basically fell out of the caravan and rang 999, and there was like, well, yeah, probably come to the hospital right now or we'll send you an ambulance. And I thought, well, there's no chance I'm going to get an ambulance, take hours, I'll drive myself there. Drove myself there, and this was full on medical emergency, by the way. Like, I am in so much pain by this point down there. Managed to get to the hospital, and like, it was that serious. I was driving quite fast. I abandoned the vehicle outside in the road and just ran inside. Left the car. I explained the situation to the nurses, in a lot of pain, making like pain noises at this point. They've admitted me as an emergency straight away, took me straight up to the ward. I was sat there for a bit while they was just gathering information and stuff. By this point, it's been a couple of hours and I am in excruciating agony, making a lot of noises. So, but still haven't weed. But severely need to. What had happened was, somehow a red clot, you know what I'm saying, a blood clot, had blocked my urethra, my wee hole, from the inside, so nothing could come by it, causing excruciating agony. Still not weed by this point. Finally gone. There was like, we're gonna have to do like an ultrasound on your bladder like right now. The second I got laid on the bed and she put pressure on my bladder, fully clothed, I like urinated. It went like, it was like a pop, and it went. And I just proceeded to wet myself completely, but it wasn't urine, it was a red colour on a white bed, which I proceeded to turn red. Honest to God, like, if you're a nervous disposition, I'd probably turn off. It was something like from an horror film, I'm not even joking. I have had the world's worst week of my life. I've never had a medical emergency like this ever. I've never been admitted to the hospital as a medical emergency ever. This is the first time ever, and it was one of those situations where I instantly knew that I'm the sort of person that won't go to the doctors either. You know what I mean? I'm terrified of that. But I instantly knew when he had the issue that I needed to be in the hospital right now, sort of issue. You know, like life-threatening. So I've proceeded to turn the bed red. I'm apologising to the nurse woman, like, but finally relieved. But then in shock of the bed going red. Oh my God, like a horror film. From there, I had to have like an emergency catheter fitted, which, if you're a man, probably a woman as well, you need to start praying today and every day for the rest of your life that you never need a catheter fitting. Because of the situation, I had to have the biggest catheter fitted, which was the size of my little finger. It doesn't bear thinking about, honest. Which was just awful. And then he tried the first time, couldn't do it. And then I'm screaming at this point in just pure agony. On the verge of tears, it was that bad. I said to the guy, because then it came back out, and I was like, what are you doing? He was like, it won't go in. I was like, oh, I'm not really surprised, it's massive. Catheters are about this long, by the way. And then by the time they're in, there's this much hanging out. I said, you've got one more go at this. I mean, if it didn't go in the second time, he'd have had to carry on, but I was in that much pain, I was just saying things. Finally managed to get it in. Proceeded to fill the bag up with red stuff again. I'm sort of out of pain, but now in pain from that procedure, so it kind of balanced itself out a little bit. I've had blood tests, blood pressure tests, blood sugar tests. I had a cannula in each arm. One there, one there. And also the tube hanging out of my male appendage. So I am trapped in the bed at this point. I've had to go get an emergency CT scan. And then this is all over like the first 24 hours. Every single scan, blood test, blood pressure test, everything they did came back negative for anything. Like no cancers, tumours, kidney problems, kidney stones, liver problems, anything. There was like, you are a healthy human being. And I was like, well, clearly not, because I've had the world's worst couple of days. I've developed contact dermatitis from the tag that they made me wear. So like, if I become unconscious, they know who I am, which is like the worst problem I kind of have right now. So all the tests have come back inconclusive for everything, which is a nightmare, because obviously I kind of wanted to get to the bottom of the problem, and all they kept asking me was like, have you injured yourself? Have you fallen? Have you had any like abdominal, like anything happen abdominally, do you know, accidents? And I was like, no, like absolutely not. There was nothing that had happened, which is the worst possible thing, because coming out of the whole situation, I don't know what's caused it, do you know, so I don't know what to avoid in the future. I spent the next couple of days in hospital. The catheters have 3 tubes, one going in, one going out, and one that blows a balloon up on the end of the catheter inside your bladder so it can't be removed by accident or like dislodged, because trust me, you don't want to be fiddling with that if it comes out again. I was hooked up to, I had an IV bag, I had 2 bags of like saline solution stuff, I don't know what it was, some sodium, some or other, to irrigate my bladder because it was full of clots. The only thing that kind of got me through it was after they'd done all these tests and things, the doctors knew it wasn't anything life-threatening, do you know? So like, and I kind of got that from them, so that was the only thing that literally like held me together. And I don't know how, but my mental health throughout this whole thing, like full-on horror, living a horror movie, was rock solid for some reason. I've no idea. It's probably because I was in the hospital and I knew that I had all these people caring for me, which were amazing, by the way. I had to go to Scarborough Hospital and spent a week in there. It was probably just because I had all those people caring for me and etc., which kind of like also kept me holding my life together at the time. I had spent 3.5 days there alone in my room because I'm miles away from anywhere. Luckily I had my phone to like scroll through and stuff and watch films with. Kind of the hardest part about the whole thing was while I was on the ward, I was on like a 9-people ward with just curtains either side. The guy to the left of me, which literally, I'll never forget this conversation in my life, it was awful. The guy next to me was on like end of life care. And while I'm dealing with all of this, I had to listen to the doctors try and convince the guy that when it eventually happened, him not sort of being alive anymore, that there was no point bringing him back, and he had to listen to him beg for his own life. Jeez. I've had a week. Kind of puts life in, the whole thing just put life in perspective. But then luckily for me, my condition started to improve quite a lot because of all the treatment I was getting. I kind of started being okay again, and my urine started becoming urine again, which is great. To the point where I think it was like the 4th day, it was just about the 4th day, it was like 11 o'clock at night. The doctors were like, okay, we think you're fine now. All your vitals are great. Obviously we've done a couple of blood tests at this point. Everything's fine. I've great liver function, great kidney function, everything's fine. It was time to pull the catheter out. And if you think it's bad going in, you just wait till it has to come out. It's like somebody putting an umbrella up there, opening it and pulling it back out. And for the next 4 hours, I had to pee pieces of myself, which just trauma. I've got so much trauma from last week. I just want to forget the whole thing. I just wish I was like Elfie. Anyway, that obviously caused a few problems in itself, pulling the catheter out, but then the urine's become urine again. I'm healing. It was time to go home. Finally. My sister had to drive down from York midweek and move the car because I just dumped it in the middle of the road outside the hospital. Full medical emergency. I didn't care. It wasn't even in my mind to think about going and getting a parking ticket and putting it in a bay. I pulled myself outside that main door, left it there, and ran inside. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was no other thoughts going through my head, like, do this, do that. It was just, I needed help. I literally ran in the hospital like, please help, please help. I had some of the best care I've ever witnessed in my whole entire life from the nurses and doctors, and I couldn't thank them enough when I left that hospital. Finally, a lot better. But now, I've been referred to the urology, like a specialist urologist department in York, at York Hospital, so we're going to actually try and figure out what the problem is. It's not life-threatening, which is, again, keeping me sane at this point. But now it's left me not wanting to leave, well, not being able to leave the house for a few weeks because I need to heal still. Can't do anything, can't work, can't fish, can't do anything. So I don't know how long it's going to be, but there'll be no videos for a while. I have 2 videos that I've already made that were supposed to be out last week, but obviously I've been in the hospital, couldn't make the videos, so I'm going to release them over the next couple of weeks, like Wednesday, next Monday, because I've got nothing to do. I know some of you guys have bought the book, and I apologise at the long wait you've had to wait to get the book. Really, honestly apologise. But obviously I've been dealing with all this. I have literally got them ready to go. I've mustered the energy to put them together today. We're going to go post them. So they will be coming. Please bear with me, guys. I've had a couple of emails that I'll get back to. Just haven't been mentally prepared for anything, really, if I'm honest. So yeah, it's been one hell of a week, and I mean hell. I don't know when I'll be back out doing anything, and it's left me scared to leave the house because I don't know what's caused it. I don't, like, if I'm in the middle of nowhere a lot of my life. Like, if I was in the Lake District, anywhere in the Lake District, and this happened, it's air ambulance, because I wouldn't have a clue where to go, what to do, how to get there. I wouldn't have been able to drive myself there. So it's left me worried that if this happens again and I'm in the middle of nowhere, like, because this is actually, like, really serious. It can cause a lot of issues to my other organs if it goes unchecked. I'm gonna send you books. If you want to support me with that, I'd really appreciate that, because obviously I ain't gonna be earning any money for foreseeable future, which is gonna be a nightmare. Dom's just rang me, he's on phone checking I'm alright, so that's probably what you can hear there. I'll turn it down. There's going to be no fishing for foreseeable. There's going to be no nothing for foreseeable. Like I say, there's 2 episodes to come. I more than appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm going to love reading all your comments that you leave on this video, because I get so much support from all you guys, you know what I mean? And I know you'll show me a lot of support in the comment section, which I can't thank you guys enough for. So yeah, I look forward to reading those comments. Might cheer me up a little bit. And yeah, this is it. This is the end for a while, which is sad because I love fishing, it's my life. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you when I see you.